Hello everyone, my dear students. Today we are going to see the chapter number 2, number systems. Okay, this chapter is also present in the unit number 1. So this chapter especially we are going to discuss about what are the different types of number systems are available in the computers, and to know how the computer interprets and stores the data in the memory. And we are going to learn the various types of data representation and binary arithmetic, and we are going to learn about the different types of conversions, number conversions from one type to another type. Okay, so this chapter full and full based on somewhat a little bit basic calculations. Already you studied well in the calculations part in your previous standards up to 10th, so you just use that calculation part for this chapter number 2, that is number system. Why? Because especially we are going to see about somewhat number conversions and memory representations of computers. So we just know about the calculation part very well. So students, you just prepare for the calculations. Okay, right, shall we start for this chapter number 2? Yes, so first one, 2.1, that is introduction part about this chapter. Okay, so this chapter, the introduction is the term data. Full and full we are going to see about data. Why? Because we already told memory representation is nothing but if we want to store any data in the computer, we must have a memory part. These things already we discussed in the previous chapters, especially in the memory unit, right? Yes, the components of computer. In that components of computer, we have one of the part, one of the unit that is known as memory unit. So this unit especially what it will be do means it just store the data inside the memory part. So if you want to feed or if you want to use the computer means you must store the data first, then only your system will produce the result and do the process. Okay, so that's why this lesson we have to start from the data. So data means already you know well, it is unprocessed raw fact, correct? So the term data comes from the word datum. How does it come from the word data? The word should be come from which word? Datum. This is the datum. Okay, so datum is nothing but what? It is a plural form. Datum is a plural form. Okay, so already we know that data means, which means a raw fact. Okay, so the data is a fact about people or places or some objects. So apart from these three, is anything in the world, anything is there. Okay, the data should be represented by anything in this world, like a people or places or object, whatever it is. So that data word should be come from datum. Okay, so this is a plural form of data. Data is a singular and this is the plural. No datas. Some people are telling like datas if you are copied or not. Don't say like that. No datas. The plural word is what? Datum. That is a plural word. Okay, right. So example, uh, like a name or age or class, marks and subject. These are the different types of data, right? So we just assign the value to each and every variables. So what is variable? First of all, if you know anything about that, variable is what purpose we have to use in the mathematics. In mathematics you already studied about algebra concept, or else some concept in mathematics like x, let x and y, a and b, like that. These alphabets you have to use so many times in the 10th standard or up to 10th standard mathematics, right? So these x and y are a and b, these and all called as what? Variables. So what is variable? Define variables if anybody know. Right. So variable is nothing but if you want to store any unknown value means we must have a variable. So variable is one of the part to store the unknown values. Why we are going to store the values? Then only you have to process. Then only you have to do the calculation part. Then only you have to do computing the process, right? So that is the main purpose. We must have a variables. So if we want to store any values, you must have a variable. So you have to store in the variables alone. So right, this left hand side, this name, age, class, mark, subject, these all 5 is considered as variables here. So the first variable name, you just assign the value. What is the value? Rajesh. So the Rajesh is the value to assign this variable, that is what? Name. So if you want to assign any value to the variable means you must use one operator that is known as equal to. This is the equal to symbol. Here this symbol should be working as an operator. So this is what operator, especially this is an assignment operator. The name of the operator is what? Assignment operator. So what happened here? The Rajesh, the value is stored or assigned to the variable name. So once you assign the value to the particular variable means whenever you have to use this variable, automatically you have to access these values. That is the main purpose of what? This variable allocation. The next variable is what? Age. Here we are assigning the value is 16. This is a numerical value. So this 16 is the value should be assigned to the variable age, like that class and mark and subject, like that. So in the right hand side, after the equal to symbol, these all are considered as values. And before the equal to symbol, these all the 5 part is nothing but variables. So what is the purpose of variable? If you want to store any unknown values. Understood, my dear students? Yes. So in the previous example, the values are assigned to the 5 different variables. Yeah, of course. That is called what? Data. But when the above data is processed, we get an information. What information? Rajesh is 16 years old and he is studying in the class 11 and he has scored 65 marks in computer science subject. So this is the meaningful information, right? So this is the data. In the previous example, what is the previous example? This is the previous example. So these all are considered as what? Data. So this is not a processed one. Okay, once you process all these data, then finally you have to get the informations like this. Rajesh is 16 years old, studying in class 11 and he has scored 65 marks in which subject? Computer science subject. So students, did you feel the difference? What is data and what is information? Right? Yes. So these data representation, how is it possible inside the computer? Why? Because already we told computer is one of the electronic machine. It is a machine, right? So in that machine, how the data should be representation or represented. So how the computers usually handles the data in the form of zeros and ones. Zeros and ones. Why especially for these zeros and ones means these zeros and ones will be called as binary. This is what? Binary numbers. Why we call these zeros and 1 is a binary number? Binary means 2. Bi means 2. So what are the two values? One is 0, another one is 1. Okay, so we know the different types of languages. As a human, we know the English, Tamil, French, Malayalam, Telugu, like that. So we know the different types of language. But now we are discussed about computers, right? So computers is what? It is one of the electronic machine. So that machine understood only the language that is called machine language. You just note down. So machine knows only what language? Machine language. So machine doesn't know any high level language like Tamil or English or anything else, right? So that machine language having only these numbers like zeros and ones. So these only the machine should understand. Whatever the data you have to feed to the computer, automatically the machine received all the data should be considered as zeros and ones. So these zeros and one should be called as what? Binary digits. Binary digits. So binary, already we know bi means what? 2. What are the two values? One is 0, another one is 1. So these two values will be called as what? Binary digits. This binary digits will be simply known as bit. B-I-T. How the word should come from where? This is from binary digits. So in this binary word, the first two alphabets B and I. And in this digits word, the one alphabet, that is what? T. So you just concatenate, that is join together bit, that is finally we call bit. So generally what is bit? A bit is a small memory representation value in the computer's memory part. Okay, so whatever the data or whenever you have to feed the data inside the computer, everything should be stored in the memory part like a bit. So bit is a very smallest memory part in the computer. So whenever you have to use the data means it will be automatically stored in the particular memory part, that is known as what? Bit. Okay, so now the study of data representation in the computer is very important. If you are know about these topics, then only you have to understand how the memory representation is going on. Okay, right. So we just see about some interesting information regarding about binary digits. Right, see one by one. The point number one, a bit is the short form of binary digit. Yeah, this thing already we know well, which can be 0 or 1. Whether it is 0 or 1. Yeah, these also we know well. It is the basic unit of data in computers. You just note down, ma. It is the basic unit of data in computers. Then point number two, a nibble. A nibble is a collection of 4 bits. Already we discussed about what? Bit is the smallest unit of computers, right? It is a basic unit of data in computers, and also it is a very smallest unit of computers, right? That is what bit. So that bit have 4 values in the sense, that is what 4 bits is equal to, what is the name of that? Nibble. Okay, so nibble is a collection of 4 bits. 4 bits are collectively together means that particular data name is what? Nibble. Okay, the next point, a collection of 8 bits is called what? Byte. That is very important information. 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. 1 byte of data representation in the computer. So what is byte? A byte is considered as the basic unit of measuring the memory size in the computer. You just note on mark. In the computer, if you want to measure the memory size of data means you just use the unit, that is what? Byte. A single byte is equal to 8 bit. Understood? Right. The next point, word length. What is word length? Word length is generally refers to the number of bits processed by a computer's CPU. As per the CPU, if any data you have to feed means automatically this CPU will performing the action or processing the particular data. So that time all the number of bits of data should be referred as what? Word length. For example, a word length can have 8 bits and another way 16 bits and another way 32 bits and another way 64 bits. So these are the 4 different types of bit allocation for every word in the computer. Okay, so if you are allocated by 8 bits means your word like this looks like 8-bit data representation. Even a 16-bit or 32-bit or 64-bit also like that. Nowadays in the real world, the present day computers are used by only the 2 bits option. One is what? 32 bits data representation and another one is 64 bits data representation. So that is a 2 major bit representation of data in a present day computers. So students, this slide especially we are discussed about what is bit and what is nibble and what is byte and what is word length. So these are the 4 important definition we are discussed for this slide, and how the data or word length can allocate the bit values, and the present day computers uses what type of memory bit representation. These things we are discussed for this slide. Okay, right. The next topic, what is computer memory? In computer, what is memory? Already we know there are 2 different types of memory. One is primary memory. The next one is what? Secondary memory. Here, the primary memory will be considered as or also known as main memory. And the second part is what? Secondary memory. These are the 2 important memory is present or available in the computers. It is generally represented in the terms of kilobyte or megabyte. Generally. By normally, we are represented by kilobyte and megabyte. Why? Because already we discussed the smallest individual memory part in the computer, in the sense that will be called as bit. Then 8 bits is equal to 1 byte, already we discussed. Okay, so if you are feeding any data or storing any data, means minimum normal representation of data is what? One is kilobyte or megabyte, like that. In decimal system, 1 kilo represents thousands, that is 10 power 3. This is usually we are following the mathematical measuring units, right? For example, 1 kilogram is equal to how many grams? 1000 grams, right? 1 kilometer is equal to how many meters? 1000 meters, right? So these are the way we are discussed. 1 liter is equal to how many milliliters? That is 1000 milliliters. So these are generally represented in mathematical calculations. If you want to measure the unit, means using like this 10 power 3, that is a decimal values. 10 power 3 is nothing but that is 1000 calculations part. But we are discussed is what system? Binary systems. Already we know binary means what? 2. So 2 values is what? One is 0, another one is what? 1. So that system, 1 kilobyte represents not by 10 power 3. This is what? 2 power 10. So why we are mentioning 2 power 10 in the sense? 2 is nothing but binary. Okay, that is the base value of binary number system. So that binary having only 2, so that's why we are mentioning 2, and the power value is what? 10. So 2 to the power of 10 is nothing but 1024 combination. So in computers especially, all the memory representations are starts with 1024 combination. So here just listen, this is the pyramid for data representations in a different option. Right from the top, this is what bit, already we know. Bit is the smallest unit, right? So bit, whether it is 0 or 1, any one of the values should be stored. And 4 bits is equal to nibble. 8 bits is equal to byte. Up to this we know well, right? The next thing, 1 kilobyte is equal to how many bytes? 1024 bytes. How we should become? With the help of 2 to the power of 10, it represents what? 1024. Then number 2, megabyte. 1 megabyte is equal to how many kilobytes? That is what? 1024 kilobytes. Then next, 1 gigabyte is equal to how many megabytes? 1024 megabytes. And the next, 1 terabyte is equal to how many gigabytes? That is 1024 gigabytes. It just students, it just note down from the kilobyte calculations part, all the calculations should be following the same memory values. That is what? 1024 combinations. How should it become? No, that is 2 to the power of 10. Okay, so this is a memory representation in the binary number systems, especially in computer memory. Right, so this is a memory size chart. You just note down in your textbook also you have, you just know about these memory size values. So one, the name is what? Kilo. The abbreviation is what? K. So the size is what? 2 to the power of 10. This symbol is nothing but exponential symbol or power symbol. So okay, you are simply call the symbol as cap symbol. This name of the symbol is what? Cap. This is used for what purpose? Only the exponential calculation. That is nothing but power calculation. So 2 to the power of 10 is equal to 1024 bytes. The next 1 megabyte is equal to 2 to the power of 20, that is 1024 into 1024. So this is what? 10,48,576. Likewise, it will becomes like that. The next one is giga, that is 2 to the power of 30. The next one, tera, 2 to the power of 40. And next one, peta, the 2 to the power of 50. Then exa, then zeta, and iota, 2 to the power of 80 is equal to these bytes. So these are the different types of memory size representation in the computer's memory. You just note down for all these things. Okay, right. So generally already we discussed about bytes. Bytes are used to what? Generally bytes are used to represent characters in a text. And different types of coding schemes are also used to represent the character set and numbers. So what is the character set? Character set is nothing but what? It contains both alphabets, numbers and symbols. So generally we call character set. Okay, so this character set we have to use not only for the alphabets, even this is uppercase or lowercase. What is the meaning of uppercase? Uppercase is nothing but capital letters of alphabets, and lowercase means the small letters of alphabets. These are the two different types of uh, alphabets allocation. The next one, numbers and symbols. Symbols is nothing but special characters. Okay, so generally these type of character sets and numbers are represented by which coding scheme அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, that is what ASCII. The coding scheme is what ASCII. So this is what actually the most commonly used coding scheme. The most commonly used coding scheme. Why? Because system doesn't know about all the values of your data, whatever you have to give, right? So that time we have to use one of the coding scheme, that is what ASCII. The name is what ASCII. ASCII. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. A stands for American, S stands for Standard, C stands for Code, I stands for Information, and finally I stands for Interchange. This is the only coding scheme for convey the informations from the user to the computer following the universal coding scheme part. Okay, so with the help of this ASCII code, automatically each and every key value of your keyboard is allocated for some specific numerical values. For example, we know uh, blank space, right? You know the blank space in your keyboard, right? Blank space is nothing but what? The big space bar button is there, right? If you are pressing means one blank space should be allocated. We know that is for what purpose? To give the blank space in the document. But machine know only the numerical value. Already told that ASCII code for blank space is 32. Please note down. This is a constant value. So what is the ASCII value for blank space in கேட்டாங்க அப்படின்னா, the numerical value is what? That is ASCII code is what? 32. And the ASCII value of 0 is 48. We know that is 0. If you are pressing the 0th value in the keyboard means human know about the value as 0. But machine, by the machine, 0 is what? It will be considered as 48. So ASCII code of 0 is 48. Likewise, each binary value between 0 and 127, it is used to represent a specific character. Okay, 0 and 127, totally 128 values. Okay, so the range of ASCII values of lowercase alphabet is from 97 to 122. So this lowercase alphabet A having what code? 97, and up to the lowercase value of Z is 122. And the range of ASCII values for the uppercase alphabet is capital letter A is what? 65, and up to the capital letter Z is 90, that is 90. These are the different ASCII values are permanently allocated for each and every character set in the keyboard. Okay, right. So see, now we are going to see the different types of number system. This is the title of your chapter, right? So here before we discussed only the introduction part and some of the basic informations regarding about the memory representation option. Now only we are going to start what are the different types of number systems are available in the computer's memory. The first thing, the number system should be divided into 4 parts. These are the 4 parts. See the green color box. The first one is the decimal number system. Number 2, binary number system. Number 3, octal number system. And number 4, hexadecimal number system. So totally how many types of number system we have? Totally we have 4 different types of number system. At the very first, already we discussed binary is nothing but what? 2. So the base value of binary number system is 2. So what are the values? Only the zeros and ones. This binary number system does not have any number like 2, 3, 4 like that. Binary only have the 2 values. One is 0, another one is 1 alone, not for coming any other number. The next system is decimal. This is another number system, decimal. What is the base value? 10. Starting value is 0, ending with 9. So totally how many values? 10 values. So decimal number system hold how many values? 10 values. So that's why we are mentioning the base value is what? 10. Then number 3, octal. So what is the base value of octal? Is nothing but 8. Right from 0 and ends with 7. So totally 8 values. So the third number system name is what? Octal. The base value is 8. Then last number system type is hexadecimal. So this hexadecimal number system have a base value is 16 right from 0 and ends with alphabet F. How is it possible this alphabet should come here? Right, already we mentioned 0 to 9, totally how many values? 10 values. These 10 value already we used in the decimal number system also, right? So here now the base value is 16. So already we know the 10 values. Apart from the 10 values, the 11th value should be calculated as alphabet A. Number 12 is calculated as alphabet number B. The 13th value should be assigned as alphabet C, and 14th number is assigned as alphabet D. Okay, right. Then in 15th one alphabet is E. Then 16th one alphabet is F. Okay, so these are the different types of values are presented in the hexadecimal number system. So right from 0 and ends with F. So totally 0 to 15, totally what? 16 values. So the base value of hexadecimal is what? 16 values. Okay, so 0 to 9, the same number you have to mention. After 9, the 10, number 10 should be calculated as alphabet A, and B is 11, it will be considered, and C is 12, it will be considered, and D is 13, it will be considered, and E is 14, it will be considered, and finally F. So 0 to F. So 0 to 15, totally how many values? 16 values. So the hexadecimal number system, the base value is what? 16. You understand, my dear students? Yes. So this is the topic we are going to discuss, especially for this chapter number 2, exercise number 2.3. Okay, we'll see one by one what are the different types of number system. Before that, we just know about some of the informations regarding about the topic. The first numbering system is the way of representing the numbers. So what is the purpose of this numbering system? If you want to represent the numbers especially, then point number 2, the most commonly used numbering system in real life is what? Decimal number system. Yeah, we know very well. Why? Because this decimal number system having 0 to 9, totally how many values? 10 values. So if you want to create or calculate any numerical values, all the numerical values between from this 0 to 9. That's why we are mentioning here the most commonly used numbering system is what? Decimal number system. Point number 3, other number systems are, what are they? Except decimal, binary, octal, hexadecimal number systems. Yes, each number system is uniquely identified by its what value? Base value or radix. Already I mentioned. Binary means what is the base value of binary? That is 2. What is the base value of octal? That is 8. What is the base value of hexadecimal? That is what? 16. What is the base value of decimal? That is 10. So that's why they are mentioning here. Each number system is uniquely identified by its base value. What is another name of base value? That is what? Radix. Okay. So what is radix? Radix or base is the count of number of digit in each number system. Count of number of digit. Base value is, means what? The number of digits should be counted for each and every number systems. These base value only, it will be differentiated by all the 4 different types of number systems. The next point, radix or base is the general idea behind positional numbering system. Okay, this is the only general idea for behind the positional number system. Means what? Based on this base value, you can identify whether it is what type of number system. Even it is binary or octal or hexadecimal or decimal also. Alright. So these are the basic informations. Right. The next topic, decimal number system. This topic we will discuss in the next class. Thank you, all of you.